Howdy folks, welcome to a new kind of video. I don't know if I'm going to call these self-care videos or what, but this is what I do all day, and this is part of how I keep my brain straight. It's how I do my brain work. Today I need to go outside and mow the lawn because we have had a killing frost. What I need to do is get the seed heads cut off the crabgrass so that they can fall down to the ground and, annoy me next year, but before the leaves fall down, so that when I vacuum up the leaves, I don't end up with crabgrass seeds in my compost pile. But first, I got to get dinner prepped for the family. Today we're having steaks. Quick shout out to Simon Meat Locker in Oldsburg, Kansas. That's where we get all our beef cut. And big thank you to Kent Biggs out of Topeka, Kansas for providing us another awesome Angus steer. This one's a young steer. You can tell because the meat isn't as marbled as when they get older. And it's very tender. Also, that fat is kind of a little more ivory than yellowing. Tasty cow. Today we're doing some Casey strips, just because that's what was on top of the freezer. We, with our kids, we go through 2 full beef a year. Got a big old freezer we keep full. And it's a bit of a hassle. Costs a bit of money, especially one-time cost, about $3,000 to put a beef in the freezer, between paying for the cow and the processing. But we do our best to feed our kids as natural food as possible, the least amount of processing we can get, and they all really like beef, so this is what we eat. I am no steak expert, beef expert, barbecue pitmaster by any means. I just grew up eating roasts and steaks and a lot of ground beef because we had our own cows that we butchered. So I just try to make good meals. I'm still getting used to this vacuum pack stuff. I still kind of like white butcher paper myself. Yeah. But it's handy. Easier to fit in the freezer. So why do steaks matter to my mental health? Well, I guess related to my autism, from day one of my special interests, and this started when I was about 7, is cooking. A lot of us start out baking with mom or grandma, making cookies. I think I did that, but one of my first memories is being able to cook the ground beef for whatever family dinner we were going to have. And I was able to do it all by myself and season it all and run the stove and, make mistakes. But I have enjoyed cooking almost my entire life. Like I said, from a very young age. Now, I am not a recipe guy, so I don't do a lot of baking because baking is chemistry. And you don't follow a recipe, you have lots of issues. But not being a recipe guy also means I'm not a very good cook. I can't reproduce something unless the recipe is very simple. And I don't care. Doesn't bother me at all. I enjoy the creative process in the kitchen, making something work with imagination and skill and experience. Being able to feed that creative side of my brain is important. It keeps me sane, honestly. And there's lots of other hobbies you could have, but cooking is important. I mean, everybody needs to eat. You can do it all year round. And you can have a lot of fun with it. And there's, I mean, think of all the different types of cuisine there are in the world. I will spend my entire life and never run out of new things to try in the kitchen. The one bit of baking that I do is I make bread, and I spent about a year fiddling around, read some books, read some recipes, remembered what Grandma told me, and came up with something that works for me and the amount of discipline I can tolerate with a recipe. Pretty simple, and I'll probably make that for you all someday. Kids like it. Took a while. All right, we'll get these other sides seasoned up and then carry on with what we got to do today. Today we're just going salt, pepper, garlic powder. I used to do a lot of seasoned salt because it was, you know, just one thing I could shake even with one hand instead of having to clean the hands to roll salt out in between. But family likes this better, it tastes better. All right, there we go. 8 KC strips from an Angus steer. These will sit out several hours, just room temperature, absorb all that salt, and end of the day we'll barbecue them up, feed the family. Now I'm gonna head outside and do my chores. Well folks, there's the yard I gotta mow today. You can see all that brown spot in between the green patches of fescue. That's all the crabgrass. It's died off for the season. Gotta mow all that down. Got a few leaves on the ground, but this isn't even 10% of what we'll have to pick up eventually. Now, why does this mowing the lawn matter? Why is it important for my mental health? You've probably heard everybody from Jordan Peterson to admirals at commencement speeches talking about making your bed. A while back, I even made a video about cleaning my garage, and it's the same thing. If you keep all the little things in your life in order and organized, those are not sources of stress. You don't make your bed, you think it's no big deal. You got a pile of clothes sitting on the chair. Don't wash your dishes, sink full of dishes. Don't clean your car. You don't notice it until you actually clean it up, but those are sources of stress in your life. And for me, I make my bed every day, keep the laundry picked up. So I mow the grass and keep the yard looking nice. It's a little bit of exercise too. I try not to be neurotic about it because you can definitely do that. I could be out raking every leaf as soon as it falls on the ground. I try not to do that. And we have kids, and so under that swing set down there, there's patches of dirt that's dirt. It's not grass, and I ain't got a perfectly manicured lawn. I mean, look at how big my crop of crabgrass is every year. So try not to go crazy, but keeping things neat, organized, helps keep my brain working. Plus, with this heavy old walk behind machine, I'll get my exercise in for the day. Just like that, through the magic of video editing, The lawn is mowed. Now when all the leaves fall, we'll vacuum them up, clean up the flower beds, and we'll have made our bed out in the yard. Well, folks, it's been a good day. After I got the yard mowed like I showed you, I swapped the mowing deck over to the brush deck, and then mowed down all the flower beds, and then the ditch behind the garden and out behind the garage, and mowed the tall grass out in the median by the stop sign. Everything I kind of clean up so that I can get all the leaves collected and everything's neat and tidy, and keep the pack rats at bay all winter while they're looking for snug, cozy homes. So that was 4 hours of I'm too old for this, out in the sunshine and the dust, and my back hurts a little bit, but I feel better than when I woke up this morning, so all that vitamin D and exercise did me some good. Now I took them steaks I showed you, and I had enough time, so I broke the smoker out. I'll tell you guys about this smoker sometime. Another hour of that should be just fine. Yep, let's not lose that. Can't beat the weather right now. It's about 71 degrees. No wind, which is a surprise for Kansas. A lot of the leaves on the trees are still full of color, not all brown yet. All the cool season grasses like fescue and brome are still green, so it's a rather colorful time of year. Little dusty, but that's also Kansas. I will have edited out all the cursing and swearing, but here on the back deck, can you hear it? We live right next to a highway. It's wonderful, and there are times where it disturbs my peace of mind, and especially if I'm trying to make a video, it can get real old real fast, or if I'm trying to read a book, sometimes there are just too many cars going by too loud, too many semis, or farmers hauling grain, or the quarry's got a whole slew of trucks going by. I mean, it's just people living their lives, but the point of all that is this could turn into a bad day real fast if I let that frustration get to me. So ain't nothing perfect. I'm gonna have to continue doing good things. Probably gonna have to get off the deck and go inside, put some earplugs in, and do something calm and relaxing. Maybe put my headphones on or play some video games. I can hear the leaves rustling in the trees. Finally. I guess the point is, to have a good mental health day takes effort. Every single time. I've had a good day. I'd like to keep having a good day. So I'm going to get off of here, let you go work on your mental health day, and I'm going to work on mine. I'm now safely inside, away from all that road noise. I'm going to enjoy these next 45 minutes of quiet till the kids get home. Hop down in the comments. Let me know what you do to have a good mental health day. Maybe what works, what doesn't, what you've learned. Does it start with making your bed? Do you have a morning routine? You have something you do on the commute every time? What feeds your sanity and starves your craziness? How do you unwind at the end of the day? Folks, take care. Remember, hope is a choice.